So, hello Phil, how are you?
Hey, Jitendra, I'm good. Thank you very much for asking. Good to be here.
Same here. It's a pleasure hosting you. Now, Phil, no, I've been following you up since long, and you do a fantastic job connecting people in Dubai. For our viewers, I would like to mention that Phil is the founder of Strategic Business Connect. He's based out of Dubai since last 25 years, and he's helping a lot of entrepreneurs connect to each other. So today we are going to discuss with Phil about the opportunities in the Middle East, to be specific, the opportunities in UAE, why people are moving to Dubai, what should be the pitfalls they should take care of, what are the opportunities. And Phil is a master and an expert in this subject. He is a published author as well, uh, and I am a big fan of his. So welcome Phil to the show, and I'll jump right in. Uh, why Dubai, and what do you feel that why do people want to move to Dubai?
So, why did I come to Dubai? Um, well, I'd love to say it was something strategic, but I came out on holiday, and and
Yep.
oddly enough, I was working in the UK in what we call dead man's boots. So my career wasn't going anywhere. I came out on holiday. I thought, you know what, this sounds exciting. I was offered a job,
Mhm.
and I took a job to start one, but within a week, I started my own business on the side.
Okay.
So, I think that kind of leads on to what makes Dubai so attractive is I think if you are willing to take a chance, if you're willing to have some drive, there's so much possibility here. More so, I think, than many places.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think we used to have an American dream, but now we have a UAE dream. Is it? Everybody is chasing the UAE dream.
Yeah, absolutely. I think whatever your dream is as well, that's the
Yeah,
thing. Yeah, yeah.
absolutely. So Phil, can you guide our viewers that when people want to move to Dubai, what are the pitfalls they should be aware of? What are the cultural nuances? Because people come from all over the world, and they come with some certain amount of cultural baggages. So what are those pitfalls they should be aware of?
Yeah, I think it's a great question. There's over 210 nationalities in Dubai. And I think most people that move here have spent the majority of their life with a certain way of looking at the world, the way business is done, the way relationships are done, what's wrong, what's right. And I think one of the biggest learnings here is that immediately you realize there is no right, there is no wrong. There's just different ways of looking at life. And I think, it's very easy to take it as, someone says or does something and you take it as an insult. And actually they weren't trying to insult you at all. They were just being nice. And so I think that the quicker we start to realize that there are differences, the easier life gets. But at the same time, if you're not comfortable with dealing with those differences, you have to make a decision and a plan to build your business in a different way because business is done differently here by different people. There are different norms.
Absolutely. Uh, Again, coming to a very personal question, has Dubai changed you as a person? Has changed your pattern of leadership once you moved from your home country to Dubai?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, in a number of ways. So first of all, when I came, I was 29 years younger. So I don't know if I can give Dubai all the credit for that. I think that's called growing up. But what I would say is it's definitely broadened my outlook. I've always been a person that likes people, and I've always appreciated different ways of learning. But I think what it has done is made me even more aware that just because I've learned one way doesn't mean it's the right way. And I've really enjoyed learning. I mean, I remember years ago. I remember learning something from the gentleman who was cleaning my car. I parked outside of a hotel where I used to go every week. This gentleman used to clean my car, and I remember learning something about the way he did business.
Wow.
Um, so if you're open, you can learn from anybody, and I think that's the secret to Dubai. It offers you an opportunity to excel. Um, and one thing I would say to anyone that's listening here, and it's so important, Dubai wants you to win.
Wow. Yep. Yep.
You know what I mean? It wants you to be successful. It wants you to take ownership. It wants you to be, and there's always been this thing of, Dubai have made these plans And on the world stage, people are going, "Oh, that's mad. You can't do that. You can't do that." And Dubai just turns around and says, "Watch me," and
Absolutely,
they do it.
absolutely. I think for the audience here, you've given $1 million advice. No, because people from different parts of world, they have different upbringings, different cultures, and increasingly in the polarized world that we live in, it's always like, no, my viewpoint is the correct viewpoint. And when you land up in Dubai and you see, no, there are 210 other viewpoints of different nations as well, and no, it's all about acceptance. It's all about acceptance, growing together, winning it together, hustling together, and that's what Dubai teaches you. Like I have seen this. I have experienced this. No, just my relationship with you, right? We connected on an online call some months back, and since then we've been exchanging emails, exchanging messages. It's like I have a long lost friend who's based in Dubai and I'm based in India. And every time I want to move to Dubai, I want to meet this friend, and that's what Dubai teaches you, and that's what you said, no? Dubai wants you to win, and I could see that, I could sense that. Yeah,
Well, I think you have to take a bit of credit as well, Jitendra, because yes, Dubai teaches us that, but also, you took the time to be on a Zoom call. So did I. All right. We took the
absolutely,
time to reach out after the call and say, "Thank you very much. Nice to meet you." And then you
yeah,
saw an opportunity and reached out. And I think you kind of have to draw the line here because so many people won't turn up on the Zoom and network because they can't be bothered. And of the people who
absolutely,
do, even less will follow up and say, "Hey, is it worth a conversation?"
yeah.
And so I think you need to accept the fact that a lot of this is you as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. Talking about networks, no, I would like Phil, you to tell the audience what you do. I know what you do, but I want you to tell the audience what you do. Personally, there is no better work than connecting like-minded people, which you do. Uh, you have opened doors for a lot of people, created millions of opportunities for your network. But I want you to tell people what they should be listening, what they should be doing in Dubai, and how you help them.
Okay. So I help ideally business owners, entrepreneurs, but it could be anyone, to enhance the quality of their business and their life through the power of the human connection rather than spending money.
Wow.
Some people may know that as networking, but it's much more evolved than networking.
Yes.
But ultimately, it's the beauty of the human connection, but not just saying, "Oh, I know people, I know it's good." Actually, putting a system and a process behind making it happen. Um, and I've spent the last 19 years teaching people how to grow their business through the power of relationships.
Share a personal anecdote here. Before starting my business, I was based out of Delhi. That's the capital of India, and I was working somewhere, working in a cushy corporate job and living a very comfortable life. And when I moved back to my home state in a different city, I knew no one, and that's how somebody, invited me to a networking event. And since then, I've made hundreds of friends in this new city, the city that I call home now. It's been 9 years that I've been in this city, and same thing, the same vibe I get when I visit Dubai, and I speak people like you. So, talking about networks and how you help people, what is the common mistake that you feel that people make when they move to Dubai and they will hear the word networking? I know it goes far beyond just meeting people, but I would just like you to highlight the mistakes that people do or the assumptions they come with.
I think it's not just a coming to Dubai mistake people make. I think it's global.
Yep, yep,
People, when they hear the word networking, it's almost like, it's a dirty word. I have to go into a room of 100 people, give out my business card, sell myself. And that's what people think networking is. And it's not. That what I just described is like
absolutely.
cold calling face to face.
I think people who criticize networking haven't yet experienced the magic of networking, right? Uh,
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I mean, the beauty of network. I mean, I remember speaking to someone on LinkedIn or communicating with someone on LinkedIn, and I invited them to the Zoom calls where we met.
mhm,
And
mhm.
this gentleman replied and said, "I don't have time for networking."
So
And I
I
said,
think,
"Oh," I thought to myself, because I wasn't going to reply, but I thought, so that means you have no friends, no family, no hobbies,
mhm,
no staff,
absolutely,
because
absolutely,
that's all networking. And the trouble is, it's what people think it is.
absolutely, absolutely. I can totally relate to this. Uh, just again sharing one personal anecdote. when I moved this to the city, Ahmedabad in the western part of India, and in a couple of years, I made my network. I made a solid group of friends, and then COVID struck. Fortunately, one of my friends, he was a doctor, and I could just because he knew me, he was a good friend, and we met through on a common networking platform. No, he tried his level best I had to be admitted during COVID, admitted to hospital. He tried his level best to get me a bed in hospital. So hospitals were all choked up. Suddenly, the patients were outrunning the beds, and
Mm,
the
mm,
system
mm,
was over capacity. And he
mm,
tried his level best to give me medication. He tried his level best to get me admitted to a hospital, continuously monitoring through video call and stuff. All because I met him on a common networking platform. But post that, we became such great friends, and today he's my mentor. We can call each other at 2 a.m. in the night, discuss about problems in life, discuss about anything under the sun, and just because we happen to meet at a one common networking platform. So people who have
mm.
not yet experienced this, for them it's difficult to explain to them that what is networking. And networking is far beyond just exchanging, visiting cards.
Yeah, I mean, there's a nice way of looking at it, Jitendra, and it sort of makes it a lot more visual.
Yep.
So if you look at you and I here, or the person that's watching this today, and you've probably heard of reciprocity or paying it forward.
Yes.
So you can look at the person in front of you and say, imagine for a minute they have an emotional bank account.
Yep. Yep.
They have an emotional bank account, right? And you think about it, every time somebody does something for you, they buy you a cup of coffee, they buy you a tea, they make you feel good, they give you a birthday card. Every time someone does something for you, your goodwill towards them increases. So
Absolutely.
what you're doing is you're filling up the emotional bank account.
Yes.
And then one day, when one of you can't get a hospital bed,
Yes.
you're
Yes.
like, oh, I just really need to help this person. But if all you've ever done at a networking event is hand out a business card and you never see them again, you have no emotional bank account. It's like, well,
Absolutely.
sorry, I don't know you. And it's that skill and that will to keep doing that on an ongoing basis
Yep.
that generates goodwill, and that's called a relationship.
Yes. Yes. Call that person. He's like a big brother to me. I can discuss anything and everything with him under the sun. Yeah. So moving forward, you see a lot of people moving to Dubai. You said primarily a lot of entrepreneurs move to Dubai. But how about, let's just tell us about the kind of opportunities and what kind of sectors there are opportunities available, both for entrepreneurs and job seekers alike. Uh, what are the sunrise sectors in UAE and Dubai as of now?
Well, I mean, across the board, you've got opportunities. For entrepreneurs, there's, well, I think 1,000. I've heard 1,000 British entrepreneurs moving here every month because they're
Yes,
trying to escape the tax in the UK and the economical
yes,
environment, and that's
yes,
happening all over the world. You know, the way, I don't
yes,
want to get into politics, obviously, but the way the world is moving at the moment, a lot of people are moving or looking to move, and Dubai is one of the places that's saying, we're open for business and we're open to look after you. And so I think economically for small businesses, there's always that opportunity, and for big businesses as well. And of course, with big business comes positions. And I think what that does is it just opens up possibilities for everybody. Dubai is a networking city, though, and it really helps to be here to meet the potential. We do see people fly in for a week and then they'll run around all these different places looking for jobs, and that's not enough time. You need to be here, you need to meet people, and sometimes it will take time. And of course,
right,
using your network, using the people
yes,
you know, your contacts, to help you in that process as well.
yes. I read a static somewhere which says that every month 5,000 UK companies are getting registered in Dubai. Now
Oh, you heard
5,000
perfect.
5,000 companies getting registered and 1,000 entrepreneurs moving, right?
Ah, okay.
Yeah. No, remaining 4,000 are sure to come one day or the other, right? They will not be fence sitters for long. They will
Well, and that's
eventually
and that's
move.
one of our strategic business connect platform. That's one of the things that makes it so powerful, is because all these people who are looking to come, well, they can network into Dubai on Zoom before they come,
Before they
build
come.
their connections, build their contacts, and then when they arrive, they've already met the people. And I think
Absolutely.
that's quite unique.
Yes, yes. And that's a phenomenal thing to do. Because I'll tell you why. Because once I land up in Dubai and I know no one, the moment I land up in Dubai, my costs are increasing, right? I'm paying for the hotel, I'm paying for my transport, I'm paying for the food, in just in a hope that I'll be able to crack something. But if I already meet somebody prior to my visit in Dubai, I meet somebody virtually through strategic business connect, I know I'm going there for getting things done, right? So that's a big opportunity there itself. Yeah. So again, so you said there are a lot of numerous opportunities, 1,000 companies, 1,000 entrepreneurs from UK moving every month, and this is just we're talking about UK. A lot of people from I know Singapore, India, Australia are also moving to Dubai. In fact, I remember the first call that I had with you. We had at least seven gentlemen from that call who are from Singapore and wanting to move to Dubai. I still remember that. Yeah. Uh, so, what are the mistakes that people do when, as you mentioned, right, that people fly in for a week and then they try to find a job or try to find an opportunity. So, is that a mistake, or how do you cater these kind of things? What would be your advice to such people who are just thinking to fly in and crack something?
No, I mean, if they're going to fly in, obviously do your preparation before you come. Meet, zoom in, meet people you want to meet, leverage your network, line everything up. And I think going face to face is definitely the best way to meet people, because there's an emotional connection. It's too easy to hide behind a Zoom or hide behind an email. So once you meet someone, you shake their hand, you talk about other things like life, then they start to care a little bit more about you. So I think that's really good. I think the mistake people make is they expect to get the job that quickly. And quite often you'll actually, if you're lucky, you might get the promise of a job, but it could take 3, 4, 5 months for it to actually start.
Correct.
And
Correct.
people can't just sit here and wait. So going through job platforms, going to recruitment agencies, probably not the way to go because they have so many candidates that you're just lost in the crowd, and absolutely nothing beats turning up face to face. And from a networking perspective, I sometimes see people get. It's always good to be strategic and try and be in the right place, but also you never know who you're going to bump into. And I think turning up and really talking to people and listening to what they say and showing genuine interest, there's often possibilities that aren't obvious. And I think that's another mistake people make with networking is because they're trying to get one thing. So someone will turn up and say, I'm trying to get a job. And so that's the only thing they talk about. I'm trying to get a job. So I'm trying to sell. That's the only thing I talk about. And I think when you ask the other person questions, so much more becomes obvious, so much more becomes possible because you actually start to go into an in-depth conversation and then things start to pop up. So yes, go in with an agenda, but also be open into listening because so much more can pop up as well.
I think here comes the cultural difference between Eastern and the Western cultures. I think in the Western cultures, you go purely by value. You show the value to the other party, and the other party is interested in doing business. But that's sort of transactional. Once that value stops, the transaction ends. But in the Eastern philosophies, in the Eastern society, it's more relationship based. I'll first try to do business with my known, with my friends, with my relatives, or I need to have some sort of relation or some sort of trust with you. Whereas in the Western cultures, okay, I provide a service, I charge you a fee, the service is done, the amount is received, and then that's it. But I think in the Western culture, especially in Eastern, like India, Philippines, Malaysia, and all the other Eastern countries,
It's,
you
it's a
develop a
really interesting.
relationship.
It's really interesting what you said there, actually, because something I've noticed, and this is just what I've noticed, whether it's true or not, I don't know, is you're absolutely right. So Westerners will make decisions based on how good somebody is at their job. They don't need to know them that well. Okay. Whereas you're absolutely right. I have a lot of Indian friends and it's all about the relationship and I'll always buy from my friends. But Westerners, just because they're friends doesn't mean they use their service
Yeah,
because they
correct,
might be their friend, but they're no good at what they do and they won't
correct.
do that. So yes, you're right there. But the interesting thing is, and this is just what I've noticed, is quite often if you speak to a Westerner and you say, okay, can you tell me about what you do when you're not working? And the Westerner will go into, these are my hobbies and I spend time doing this and I travel there and these are my favorite foods and these are my friends. And often I'll say to an Indian gentleman, what do you do when you're not working? And they go, I'm always working,
Yes, 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 yes.
right? Which is kind of interesting when you say it's relationship driven.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because once you develop a relationship with the client, then you are in some sort of obligation to always serve the best interest of the client. This means sometimes you may have to keep your own priorities at the back seat and fulfill the commitments that you have done, because then you are invested in that
Mm.
relationship, right?
Yeah.
Again, yeah, and
Yeah. It can be interesting. You're absolutely right. And, again, there's different relationships and different nationalities. But a lot of people from the Western world, we work to live. So we work for our free time. Whereas there's other people work for work
work for work. Yes, yes, yes.
or live for work. And
Correct.
there's no wrong or right.
No
It's
wrong
just
or right.
we all show love, we care for our families in different ways. But then you talk about different motivations,
Absolutely,
and then what you talk about and how you connect. And I think that's really interesting.
absolutely. Talking about work-life balance here, uh, I understand that again things sometimes get tough. Sometimes you feel that I know I'm working hard, I am trying to search opportunities in Dubai or wherever, whichever part of the world, and things are not happening. And I'm sure this must have happened with you as well in life. There would have been some times where you feel that, am I doing the right thing? Am I doing what I'm required to do? So what was that motivation that did not allow you to give up? What was one thing that kept you going? And what would be your advice to the audience? If a lot of people in this is a scenario of massive layoffs all around the globe, what is that one thing you would say that people to not to give up?
So one thing that, yeah, I get you. So if I can just check in, so the fact that I'm an entrepreneur and I've had tough times, and did I feel like giving up, or what kept me
Yes.
going?
Yep.
I've never felt like giving up.
Wow.
My yes, I've had tough times, and you sort of think, oh my gosh, But my thing has always been, what else can I do? What am I missing? What do I need to change? Who can I ask? Where can I get ideas? Um, and I would say, Jitendra, for me, it's always been, no matter how big the problem is, what is one small step I can make in the direction of solving this?
Wow.
What is one small step in that direction? Because once you make the first step, then there's another small step, then another small step. And I think the problem is when people have trouble is they look at, how do I solve the whole thing? And then it's too much. It's just too much. So what's one small step? And that small step, by the way, could be going to the gym, or it could be picking up the phone and making a phone call, or asking a friend for help, or just something small, but it's in the right direction.
Such a beautiful advice. That it's all about the mindset. I think that's why you are known as a rebel networker, and this is the positioning that you have. And I think this was because of the mindset that you have developed all through the year, or all through the career so far.
Yeah, well, the Rebel Network, oddly enough, I have to credit an old friend of mine with that, a gentleman called Dave Crane. We were in one of my courses, one of my programs called Ascentive Pro, and
Hmm.
part of the program was to describe yourself in 3 words.
Hmm.
And so a lot of people were coming up with different names for themselves. And Dave said to me, he says, "Oh, Phil, you're like the Rebel Networker." And I said, "What do you mean?" He says, "Well, so many people hate networking or they're corporate, and you look at it from a different angle." But he says, "You're also a salsa teacher, you teach kite surfing, so you're a bit of a rebel." And by the way, it's a really cool way of distinguishing yourself from everybody else. So it just stuck.
Uh, Being a melting point of cultures, how difficult is for someone to hire people or someone to find a job? What would you suggest that what was the ideal time of somebody, come and stay for let's say a month or a two? Do you have any such experiences that people have found out jobs in a week or a 2 month, a month or 2 months?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's a tough call because it's one of those really strange things about life that when you're a business owner, you cannot find decent employees. When you're looking for a job, you can't find a job. It's like, how does that work? And it's so true. All I hear is business owners complaining they can't get different employees, and people saying, "I can't find a job." That's just an incredible disconnect. So when you work that one out, please tell me. But I think, again, it just goes back to the fact you need to be here, you need to be positive, you need to take action, and just remember that if you are you know, think about. I would suggest, if I ever had to go back and get a job, I think I would put myself in the position of the person I was being interviewed by, and saying, what's in it for them? What, where are they being let down? What do they need to make their life better? And then I'll show them how I provide that. And then just keep in touch, be pleasurable, but just be around. Um, That's what I think. That was my really recent realization.
Again, one of the gems and one of the again the $1 million advice that you have given it in such a subtle manner, because every time we interview candidates, the candidates always ask it's in it for them, right? The packages, the holidays, the benefits. But having said that, if you ask what is in for the recruiter, the person who's interviewing, what problem of his life you are solving, I think then if you portray yourself in that manner, then you are bound to get a job because you are making somebody's life easy, right? Rather than thinking about the perks you are getting, of course, the perks and the packages and the holidays and the benefits come along with it. But to be able to get those things, you need to solve somebody else's problem first. $1 million advice again, and I'll request all the job seekers looking at this particular video to think from that point of view. Of course, you have the full right to negotiate your salaries and pay packages and stuff, but then you also need to take care of the solve making somebody else's life easier. Typically, the person who is hiring you. That's a brilliant advice. Uh, One thing, Phil, I wanted to know, let's say if you are recruiting someone or you work with a lot of entrepreneurs day in, day out. So what is that one thing entrepreneurs look while hiring people in Dubai or in general as well? What is that number one quality you look for in a candidate?
In a candidate,
Hmm.
I think mindset.
Wonderful.
Because you can teach skill, you can teach skills, but you can't teach mindset. And if you've got the right mindset, you'll make anything happen. But if you've got the wrong mindset and the skills, nothing's going to happen. So I think it's mindset, and it's mindset to treat whatever role it is as if it's your own business.
Wow. Yep.
And you think, I look at Dubai, and there's a lot of people here, and they don't realize that okay, you've got a job and you're getting paid, but ultimately you work for yourself. Because while you're getting a salary, if you're not doing your job, you're going to lose your job. So if you start treating it as if it's your own business, be proactive, solve problems, choose things that you enjoy, but it's your own business. You are your own business. You just happen to be getting a salary. It's a completely different shift.
Yep. And I think that's the best way to look at it because as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, if I'm like somebody like me, I know at the end of the every month I am a bit stressed about how do I pay my employees if my clients are not paying, how do I take care of the compliances, how to take care of my fixed costs, how do I pay rents. So as an entrepreneur, sometimes I get stressed at the end of the month because I need to do all these things. But if I'm working somewhere and I treat myself as an entrepreneur and I don't have to worry about all these things, I know a salary is going to be credited in my account. But however, I'll still function as if I'm the owner of this business. So you get all the perks, all the growth, minus the stress that you have in these compliance and other things. So I was saying this is a fantastic point of view that to even if you are an employee, run your no do your job as if you are the no this is your business. You are running as if it was your business. So that's a fantastic point of view that you have given.
And
Uh,
there's another way to look at this as well. And this is someone told me this years ago, and he said, I have an open door policy, and anyone can come in with their problems. But he said, when you come in with a problem, I want you coming in with a solution at the same time.
Yep, yep, yep. So that's the way how it is because it's very easy for employees to come and just say, no, this is not working, that is not working. I'm not closing enough clients. I have this problem, I have that problem. But then you understand from the point of view of your boss or the entrepreneur, he has to take care of thousand different things, right? You are bringing him operational challenges, but he has to take care of the compliances, rents, finances, getting paid on time, no recovering money from the clients who are not paying or the clients who are delaying payments. Yeah, so he has to take care of a lot of other things. So it's better you come up with a solution. Maybe we can try something different. And I know for a fact a lot of entrepreneurs do not mind experimenting as long as the employees it builds some value to the system or it has certain benefits. I've never seen an employee saying no to his employees uh, because if they wanted to try something new and that was not useful to the company. So yeah, you are pretty much
Well, that's a good employer as well, because we all know there's some out there that don't want suggestions, but you learn pretty quick who they are, and you probably won't.
Yes, yes, yes. Again, coming on the mindset, right? The people who have mindset to grow, they will never hesitate to experiment. Uh,
Mm.
One more thing on the networking part, how do you feel that do entrepreneurs can entrepreneurs leverage networking to hire great people? Or has there been any examples in your experience that no somebody joined your network and they found really good employees from your network.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, the employers could network as well. It just depends if that's in their remit.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, but you know, in my experience, if you're out there networking and you meet people looking for jobs who are networking, they're already showing that they're proactive.
Correct.
Do you know what I mean? They're actually out there saying, "I want this, and I'm willing to go out and do it, and I'll think where I can be, and I'm willing to pay something to be there." You know, that's very different to someone who sits at home sending out emails.
Correct. 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 Yeah.
So I would
No,
encourage entrepreneurs. Yeah.
a lot of senior people who are into sales leadership or they're handling sales and customer facing roles, I know for a fact that they happen to network and they attend a lot of networking events and networking platforms because uh, this is something you get, no, you can meet like-minded people easily on networking platforms.
Well, you're right, and it's interesting. I see I've been running this network for a few years now, and someone dropped me an email a little while ago, WhatsApp message, and they said, "Oh, Phil, thanks for all the last year, but I don't need to network anymore because I've got a job." And I'm like, "No, you don't get it. You should
Yeah,
always be networking,
absolutely.
always, because you never net. Think about networking as starting to solve tomorrow's problems today.
Yes, yes, yes.
Right? The more contacts you can build, the more goodwill you've got. Then one day when you've got a problem and you don't know what that problem is, one day when you hit that problem, it could be lack of a job, it could be a problem with medical, whatever. Then you've put in the goodwill in advance and they're ready to work. You can think of it almost like a sponge. You know, a sponge, when you put water in a sponge,
So, sir,
the water, it doesn't, well, it soaks up. It doesn't come out straight away. It soaks up, it soaks up, it soaks up. And then one day when you need it, you squeeze. And so employees should always be networking as well.
no, as I mentioned earlier in the episode as well, networking is far beyond the monetary gains of it. People take it as that no, they want to have some monetary gain either in terms of employment or in terms of business, but then they forget that no, if you have the right network, people help you beyond their no beyond their measures. Like they can go out help you medically. No, you get to know a lot of opportunities. Maybe you are working somewhere, but there is some fantastic investment opportunity in real estate. I'm just giving an example. So
Information, yeah.
information, yeah, yeah. So people do discuss that, and you know, I work with a lot of chartered accountants, and I know a lot of I work with a lot of doctors as well. We recruit for them as well. And you know, one of the doctors specifically told me why he loves networking. He says, "No, my parents were doctor. I am a doctor. My kids are doctors. I never go and meet people who are not doctors. So my perspective to life is only from the medical point of view. I don't know what are other emotions. For me, every living being is just a collection of flesh and bones, and I just look at it from the anatomical view, right? But he
Wow.
says, I want to experience joy from a different angle. I want to understand people why they eat something not healthy. I want to understand why people feel in certain way. And just being a doctor, I just prescribe them, okay, you don't eat sugar, you don't eat fried, take these pills, take this syrup. But then life is much more beyond that. Why does somebody enjoy poetry? Why does somebody enjoy music? And you told me that I want to experience all these things. That's why I go out and network as much as possible because all these different friends of mine from different areas of life, they give me a different perspective to life. And they said, wow, this man doesn't need networking. This man doesn't need any kind of monetary help. He is fully loaded. He has good amount of wealth. Yet he is craving networking for the different perspectives of life.
There was actually I love your story. There's actually a study. I think it was in the 70s by a guy called Mark Granovator. Do you know the
Mhm.
study?
No.
So my question was, when they actually got the job, do you think they got the job from people they know really well, or from people they only met a couple of times, or if once?
No, no, they of course they from the people who knew them, who they knew very well.
You would think, wouldn't you? It
Yeah.
wasn't. The majority was from people they didn't know well. They'd only met a few times. Uh,
Oh, wow,
Amazing, right?
surprising.
And
Yeah,
so this is
surprising.
called, they called it the power of weak ties, all right?
Uh-huh.
Because
Uh-huh.
yes, people we know well, they're great people that we, relationships, we get, we help each other and all that sort of thing, but we know the same people. We know the same opportunities, we have the same connections. So just like your doctor, I only know flesh and bones. That's the only thing I know. So when we meet other people, they hang around with different other people. They know different opportunities. And so most of the options came from there. So when you say to people, I'm looking for a job, you actually got to go to places where you don't know people so well, and you will increase your opportunity of getting a job.
Hey, wow, this
Isn't that incredible?
absolutely, absolutely. This is very surprising and something broadened my perspective as well. Yeah, thank you
I
so
would have
much.
thought the same as you. Honestly, I would have thought the same as you.
Yeah, yeah,
But when we look at it, it makes sense.
yeah. Thank you so much for sharing this story. Yeah, it makes me realize a lot of things, right? Uh, ah, again, it's something really to ponder upon. Yeah. So, coming back to my next question, uh, what is the common mistake that leaders make while networking? Is this too much expectation from networking?
Common mistake leaders make when networking. I think they expect results too quickly.
Okay.
Okay, they meet people on one occasion and they expect the world to change. And what they don't realize is human beings need time to become comfortable, to understand you, to care. That doesn't happen once. And networking is not sales, and in that dynamic, you're selling yourself. If you look at marketing, if you look at sales, if you look at networking, most people need between 5 and 8 contacts and touches to actually move to the place where they want things to happen. And if we look back at our lifetime relationships, our best friends, most of them have had a couple of touch points. We met, we had a tea, a coffee, we had a chai, maybe we called each other happy birthday, whatever. Most take a couple of touches. And I think that's the biggest mistake I see. Number one, they expect things to happen too quickly. And then number two, which is in line with that, they never follow up anyway.
Yeah. No, again, I will quote one report here which says that in order to convert a sale, you have to have 13 follow-ups. Most of the sales get converted between 7 to 13 follow-up. So for the
Mm.
first 6 times you get rejected or delayed or postponed, the other party is always busy or elaborating options. It's only after the seventh or eighth time that you follow up, the other party genuinely starts showing interest, and the sale
Yeah.
finally happens on the 13th touch point.
Yeah, I saw similar stats from the National Sales Association. I think it was 5 to 18 times, and sorry, 5 to 12 times, and it was 85% convert. So similar stats. And by the way, I was actually told that during COVID that literally doubled.
Yep, yep, yes,
And when we look at networking, if you're approaching networking as I'm trying to find a client, or you approach networking as in I'm trying to find a job, ultimately you're in sales.
yes, yes,
So
yes.
you've got to be able to expect that delay as well.
Absolutely. No, the biggest part of, I'm sure you must be knowing this, in the Middle East, in the Gulf nations and UAE, there's something called as Vasta. Vasta is like when you interact with somebody, they ask you for reference. And why do they ask you for a reference? Is just to build that trust, right? So trust is the currency that everybody operates, and you have to earn that currency. So just you rightly mentioned, right? Follow up, stay in touch. So the more you stay in touch, the more you follow up, then you build that trust, and then somebody is willing to take a bet on you. Maybe it's giving you a job or giving you the kind of business that you are looking to. Yeah. Next question would be, we live in a world of technology. So how do you feel that AI is reshaping the world in terms of jobs, careers, and specifically, is networking the answer for searching jobs or getting business competing with AI?
Yeah, I think this is the million-dollar question, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
People are out there studying for jobs they don't even know are going to exist in 3 years' time. We've got jobs we don't know if going to exist, right? So I think when you actually break it down and you look at what is the one thing AI can't take away, it's the human connection,
Human connection. Yeah. Yes.
right? You can replace it with a robot, but it's never going to be the same. And so
Yes.
anything that's a people business or to do with people and enjoyment with people and business directly with people, at the end of the day, people do things for each other because they like each other. They don't do it because an AI bot told them X, Y, Z. So I think if you can build a network and you can understand that human relations are part of that, I think it's going to be the secret sauce. And also, if you have got the network and you do network, should your job become redundant, your network becomes your next step into whatever that is, because they're going to look after the people they have a relationship with.
Absolutely. I think you hit the nail on the head. In the era where a lot of layoffs are happening, the tech companies are firing people left, right, and center. I think your network can be biggest source of strengths, right? To help you find the next opportunity, to help you start up your business career, or give you some freelancing opportunities as well. I was interesting. I was reading somewhere that AI is in sales is only good for the low ticket sales. Like if you want to order a pizza, maybe a bot can order a pizza for you. But as you move up the value chain, you move up to your ticket size increases, let's say $1,000, $5,000, $10,000, or $100,000. The more the ticket size increases, increasingly people want to talk to a real person rather than a bot. The bot can influence a decision up to, let's say, $100, $200, maybe $500,000 in some cases. But beyond that, as the investment increases from the client side, he wants to talk to a genuine person.
Wow.
Yeah, yep. Yeah. So that is somewhere again a very interesting study I read.
Makes a lot of sense, right?
Yep.
Mm.
Uh, if you could change one thing, people approach talent or people approach organization development, what would be that would be?
If I could change one thing, so from a personal development perspective or recruitment, sorry.
uh, how people approach talent. Let's say if you're an entrepreneur, you're managing talent under you, or the way you are running your organization. Because
I don't know if I'd change it. I think just making sure that you're investing in your staff
Mhm. Can you
and
elaborate
making
on
sure
that?
that the staff are hungry enough to learn.
Wow.
Because there's so many companies don't invest in their staff,
Hmm.
and then there's a lot of people that are sat in rooms being trained by the company that does invest in them, and they can't really be bothered.
Yep.
So I think it's a mindset in both. It's a mindset, I suppose, to embrace learning in the terms of giving and receiving.
Mhm.
And like you just said as well, I think a lot of employees don't understand the pressure that a business owner is under. They've got no idea. And when someone's taken the time and money to invest in the team, that's a blessing. And
Absolutely.
it should be received as such as well.
Yep. I was same at doing that. So during COVID as well, I had a lot of pressure to find people. We During COVID we had 10 people, and I'm completely bootstrapped. I have not raised investments, so there was huge pressure on me to let go of people. But then me and my partner, we took a conscious decision that we will not fire people. So we exhausted all our financial savings. We kept on paying the salaries, kept on paying the rents, but we did not let a single person go because
Wow.
we felt that no, these 10 households run on the income that they generate from our business. So
Wow.
if we are alive to fight another day, we'll make the money again. But we don't want to lose the precious staff that we had. So
Wow.
yeah.
It's actually interesting you should say something like that because I know two airlines, and I won't mention the airlines, but one of the airlines during COVID actually had let a load of their pilots go, and another airline didn't.
Yep.
What they did is they kept them as long as they could, maybe split the shifts and stuff. But when, of course, everything kicked off again, the one airline had all its pilots, and the other one spent their time trying to re-recruit.
Yes, actually, no, this was an offshoot of good karma, I guess. I'm not sure. I'm not saying that I have done a great karma here, but we did not fire people. And when things started opening up, so every client and our clients also did the same mistake. So that they fired people. When things started getting normal again, our clients started receiving business, and the first call they would make us is, would you be able to recruit people again for me? And I said, why not? I was ready for this day, right? So even before things were no, looking bright, I was ready and waiting, completely prepared that no, once the opportunity arises, I want to pounce on that opportunity. And like post COVID, we grew like anything because all our clients wanted to rehire people, and because we already had a good team working with us, and whom we
Yeah.
had not fired, we had the capability, the operational capability to fill our clients' vacancies very fast.
Do you know, it's interesting when you say, I was in sales. I worked in real estate for a number of years, and it's a similar thing to what you're saying there about. I think it's just the way you show up as a human being and respect people. Um, and I remember I was working as an agent, and I would always return phone calls. People called me, I would always return them. If I couldn't help them, I always spoke to them. And some of the other people I knew, they just didn't return the phone calls. They just ignored them. And their excuse was, "Oh, I'm busy. Sorry, I'm just busy." But the thing is, the person on the other end doesn't care, right? And then that was okay because everybody was busy and everyone was earning money. And then about 3 or 4 months later, we started going into a tough time. And what was really interesting was people didn't call these guys; they called me.
Just last week, this has happened with me. One of the clients, he flew down from US and he wanted to recruit some people here in India. He reached out to four different agencies. Uh, Two of them did not respond, and one person said, "Sorry, I'm too busy right now. Can you give me a call a couple of days later?" And I was the one person. I immediately called him in 10 minutes. I asked him, "What are you up to? Let's meet for a coffee. You are more than welcome to visit our office." He visited our office. The meeting lasted for more than 2 hours, and now we are signing the agreements. So he said the same thing. He said, I reached out to four or five people, but none of them responded. You responded, and the way you made me feel comfortable right in the first interaction itself, that was more than it, right? That was a good deal for us. Huh. So we are mantras to success. You know that. So I would like to know what is that one mantras to success that Phil follows in his life. What is that one thing that keeps Phil going and makes Phil wake up every morning and look forward to a bright future?
For me, it's living now,
Wow.
making sure that you're finding the time
Hmm.
to whatever you got to do. Just remember that you got loved ones, and sometimes you drop the ball, but always come back to that. You never know what's coming tomorrow, so live today because you never know what's coming tomorrow.
And one mantra to success you would advise a lot of people, entrepreneurs, job seekers, candidates, that they should adopt in their life when looking for job hunting or making career in UAE.
Um, just keep collect people if you know what I mean. Meet people, meet people, meet people, and just realize that it's life's a better place if you've got good people around you, and just start to enjoy that. Don't look at it as a chore. And when you meet the people, try and leave every person in a better place than when you met them.
One more question, and then with this question, I would end the conversation. We hear a lot of stories, people moving into Dubai and UAE from all across the world, but then they move out in a couple of years. I've heard stories, people crying and saying the city is too tough, the city is too demanding. Whereas some other people make millions in the city. So what is that one thing that separates the men from the boys?
Again, I think it's mindset.
Yeah.
Somebody, when I first came here, there was two things people said to me. The first one was, Dubai's not the real world. It's make believe. How can it be so new? How can it be so shiny? And the other one was that everybody's very transactional and nobody cares about you. And both were complete rubbish.
Correct.
It's been the most amazing home, so much opportunity, beauty when you choose to see it, and some of the best relationships in my life. So I would say it's the same when the job seeker comes here. It's all about your mindset, and are you willing to step out your comfort zone and embrace the opportunity, or do you want to sit here, see the negative, and blame everybody?
I think that's such again a brilliant advice. No place is perfect. You have to make perfect. You have to always look at the positive sides, right? Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much, Phil. Thank you so much for the precious conversation. I think our audience and our viewers have got a lot of value from this podcast. I would especially say people who are looking to move to Dubai or make UAE their second home or the primary home. Do definitely check out Phil and his profile. I'll link it in the description. Do check out Strategic Business Connect. This is the man you should meet once you are in Dubai, and he will open a lot of I would not say open a lot of opportunities, lot of open doors, but he can show you the correct path. Again, you have to walk the path, but then somebody has to show you the way, right? So thank you so much, Phil.